Hi everyone, welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. My name is Rochelle. Sorry, I am a few minutes late. I was in the wrong place yet again. I have another page which I operate for, and I sometimes it's similar name, and I end up on that page. So sorry about that. And I am here now. Sorry that I'm late. So my name is Rochelle Laird Smith. I'm an independent stepping up demonstrator in Melbourne, and this is my weekly creative escape, which I hold every Wednesday night. Sometimes I do some other Facebook lives, but this is my regular Facebook live. If you haven't signed up for my newsletter already, make sure you do so during November. Every day I am sharing a brand new Christmas tutorial for you, so you can create or get inspiration. So maybe you won't create that very project, but perhaps you can use that as inspiration for some of your projects. So yesterday was the first day. Uh, and I will be sharing another one today, and so on. So make sure you do sign up for that. I've got it. Generally, my newsletter subscribers will get a weekly tutorial anyway, but you're just going to get some extras today. So today I have got, I think it's a fairly simple card, but I think it's a good one where you can make multiples of, uh, and it especially with Christmas, we always want to do things that are quick with card making and things because we're always short on time. And I think this one, there's not a lot of uh, die cutting, and it's something you can get a lot done of. So I am going to be using this designer series paper. It is the Lights Aglow designer series paper. It's a specialty paper. It's 6 by 6. You get 48 sheets, and it is in our mini catalog. It is on page 31. So it's part of that Lights Aglow suite. But I'm going to be using some of that suite today. But that paper is pretty. I will just show you what colors are in that suite. So in that paper, you've got cherry cobbler, evening evergreen, soft succulent, very vanilla, basic black, and gold. So anytime I feel that anytime you are kind of stuck for color combinations, make your life easy by going with the Stampin' Up color combinations. It is there for you to make your life easy, and that's what Stampin' Up are well known for. The coordination, color coordination. So, um, especially when we're kind of stuck, and so that's well, we're gonna go with that. I've given you a sneak peek. I'm going off a card, but I'm gonna create a different color palette of that same card, and I will show you the original. You will get the tutorial as a newsletter subscriber for this card. It involves a little bit of heat embossing, but that in itself is not a big part of it. So it's quite simple for you to follow. If also just a quick announcement with the fitting florets collection is out now, so I have been showcasing it over the last few weeks. You can purchase that right now, and I have got a couple of classes out. The first cutoff date for that class is the 4th of November. Purely because there's some items that are while supplies last. I have a cutoff date later on, but if you want to get that class sooner rather than later, place your orders before that. So I'm going, like I said, with the a cherry cobbler card base, and I have I'm going to be working on this piece of basic white. So it says very vanilla, but I wanted to do some blending, color blending as well. So I have gone with, sorry, I'm just going to beg your pardon. You can hear my voice on the background. I was just, it's a, it's a touch behind my broadcast and you can hear my voice in the background. Sorry about that. Okay. So we're just going to work on this. And I have got the dies from the Labels Aglow dies. And I'm just going to bring my die cutting machine in. So I didn't get the other one just purely because I had to make a selection what I was going to get. And these would work well to get, obviously work well together, the two sets. I have got this set, and I based it on the fact that I wanted this sentiment. So sometimes I have to kind of choose, okay, and we all have to choose what we want, and I chose this stack set and the coordinating dies because of all the nice sentiments this had. But if you want full coordination, get both those sets. Now this comes with several little dies, and this one is the one we're going to use today. This actually cuts into the cardstock, so it's not going to cut a piece out. It cuts those holes into the card or the paper, whatever you're using. So I'm just going to bring in my die cutting machine first. And you might need to run this a couple of times. Oh, sorry, just because you have to just it's got lots of little holes that you want to make sure they pop out as much as possible. I'm going to place that pot right at the bottom here and center it. So it's not going to run right across. And I will put some washi tape on it just to hold it in place. Please say hi if you're watching. I'll check the comments in a minute. I'm going to do this a few times, like I said, to make my life easy with the... It's running through easily. Now it does leave a bit of a bump there. I just go over with my corn folder just basically to get that ridge out. And once you do some blending and things, it's not too visible. A little bit of a mark. That's probably from my plate. I'll try and camouflage that. So the ink colors I am going to use, now I have to say I have not tried this ink color, like this combination before. It's real red and cherry cobbler. By themselves, like I've mixed them with other colors, but I have not tried this particular combination. So it's always worth a try. It can only go wrong, says Rochelle. They're both Christmassy, so it's okay. We'll try it. The reason being I've chosen it is because I wanted a darker and a lighter shade. So my red is going to be my lighter shade and my cherry cover. But before I do that, I'm going to do a bit of ink blend, not ink blending, heat embossing. I'm jumping the gun. Okay, so I've got close those reds. They're an accident waiting to happen on their red ink pads. Okay, so we've got Versamark for my heat embossing. I've got my gold embossing powder, so you'll get them if you go to purchase them. They'll come in the metallics pack, so you get three colors: the gold, copper, and silver in a pack. Hey, Alana, good to see you. So what I'm gonna do is just swipe this Versamark down, just very roughly down the base of this, right? So I'm running that right down. So just this is ink swiping technique, but normally we do it with a color. I am doing it with Versamark. And I'm just gonna make sure I get those corners. Then, so I didn't need my embossing buddy because this is just, it doesn't matter how it lands. It's not like you're stamping a sentiment or something like that. So that's why I say it's good for quick cards and things like that. So pour over your gold embossing powder. Now it's going to stick, and that's too straight for me. So what I want to give it is that a bit of a uneven edge. So I'm just like going in with my brush and just making that uneven. So very haphazard, and that's why I like it for a quick card. It just doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't matter how you go with this. And if you have little specks and stuff, it adds to that nice look. Pour this back in. And then we'll heat emboss that. So I'm just gonna get my heat gun and heat it up for a few seconds. Hopefully you can see that turning. The last bit on top. Now with my other card I'll show you, it has a bit more gold border. So you can, I might have done the die cutting a bit higher. And it doesn't matter. It's whatever you prefer. You can see two variations. There's always different ways to do this. You want to make sure it's all melted before we do our ink blending. If you want to put some more, you add some more gold embossing, you can. So then we'll go with our red. So I haven't tried this before, so let's see how it works. And I don't want it too dark. And if you go over the gold, it'll resist that red, so which is fine, which is what we want. And creating that ombre kind of look. And get it a bit dark at the bottom. Then I'll bring in cherry cobbler so we can go on right at the base there a little bit darker. And I'm just working it into that bottom section because I want that a bit darker. And then I will blend that in upwards. Then I'll go to the sides a bit so that all nicely. Now we'll get just a tissue or a kitchen paper or something and just wipe back that gold. And it'll get rid of the red and the cherry cobbler of that. And here's where it's a little bit different again to what I originally did in the card. I will show you later. The stamp set, the label, the brightest glow. So what I like with some of these sentiments, when they're larger, you don't need to do a lot more. So I'm just going to use that Merry Christmas right across there. And I'm just using tuxedo black. I was thinking of using cherry cobbler, but I think the black might stand out better. That looks smart, doesn't it, with the black? It just has a nice look about it. Okay, so now we'll get on bits and pieces. Now I have a mat of black to layer this onto. I'll get my glue. So I think this is a good one for mass production because it doesn't involve like all these bits. You just cut it on your trimmer. No die cutting for these big pieces. So you can just do it in a hurry. Because die cutting can take time if you're doing like heaps and heaps of it. Need to put a bit of glue on these little bits here. And that's probably why in my other card I gave a bit of a border at the bottom. Just have a few dots. It's being difficult. We'll see how that goes. Now, I've got a bit of this lights Aglow DSP. I should show you the paper. I may have shown it previously, but this is some of it. So you've got your evening evergreen. There's bits and pieces I've already cut. So these would die cut with some of the coordinating dies, probably with the one I don't have. Um, and there's a more plain side if you just want to use it, doesn't have the gold on it. And then there's a more on-it side. There's more. I like it. Also has a bit of you saw that one. It's got some black sheets as well, which is really smart. Looks really smart on it. I'll show you that. Yeah, doesn't that look nice? They look really would make great mail like birthday cards. I don't know, just has a nice look about it. So that's that Lights Aglow DSP designer series paper, because sometimes not everybody knows what DSP is. I was using that at my craft retreat, and someone went, "What's DSP?" Because I said that's Stampin' Up lingo for pattern paper. See, that's better. It's laying down. Now, I'm just twisting it a bit because it was a bit folded the other way. Alright, now we need some dimensionals. Do you like that look? It's a bit different for Christmas with the black, but I think it looks nice. Not your traditional. Has a bit of a department store look, doesn't it? Now we'll do the inside, and I think I'm just going to use some designer series paper for the inside as well. I figure we might as well. I try to use it as much as I can, so I don't hoard it. I don't end up with tons and tons left over. Because next week I'm going to Sydney and we get to see the new catalogue. And that means more paper. Okay. I know I've used white, but I'm going to use a very vanilla ribbon, which is in this suite. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check that. But it's always a good ribbon to have, that one with the gold edge. Yes, it's part of this suite. So I'll just tie a bow. you love the colors, Alana? Isn't the embossing, like, it's just effective, isn't it? It brings it out. Oh, thank you. Let's put a glue dot here for I did that backwards, didn't I? It's easier to take it to your glue dot, your boy. Alright, so I've done up to that. Then I will go adding these. Now you may have seen it or not. It's called flat jingle bell trinkets. They're they're little ornaments. Uh, they're like brass, but I'm using it. And I've found that they with a glue are probably the best. Now it's got a little place you could probably put through some twine, maybe attach it to what do you try to get the word, a gift tag, or even maybe you could use it on an ornament or something just hanging. But I just put a glue dot and tuck it underneath so you can't see that. And I'm just using two of them. But it just adds a little something. You get, how many do you get in a pack? You get 20 in a pack in that. And just push that under. I'm just trying to make sure it sticks under there. And that's our card, and I've got a bit for my envelope. You can see I eyeball this a lot. I can't be, sometimes I measure, but most of the time I don't. And that's a nice little card for Christmas, hopefully. And it uses smaller bits, so you could probably use some scrap that you've got. Now I'll show you the one I did in soft succulent and evening evergreen. So same products, just different colors. And that's the border I was saying. So if you bump that up, the die a bit higher, you will get a bit of a border, and then you won't have that issue where I was having to stick the glue in between and you got it like sticking up a bit, and that's probably a better way to go. But it works. And which one do you prefer? Let me know. What are you more likely to make? Is it the soft succulent with the evening evergreen carved base, or the cherry cobbler with the basic black mat there? What is your preference? This one's probably a little bit softer, and this is a bit on the, I guess, richer tones on this one. But I'll send you the tutorial for those on my newsletter list. You will get that with all the measurements, and so that'll be out tonight for you, so you can get those products to get you creating. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to sharing with you next week, and you have a great week and a great week for the rest of your week. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.